It's 10 to 2, so I should probably start thinking about wrapping up the stream. But, just quickly. No, it's fine. Fine. Not in the house arrest anymore, you can come out. Actually, next time I should try streaming and recording. I mean, it's only Minecraft, what could possibly go wrong? Not like it's a stress test. What would you say about making this? Okay, just completely removing this and moving that down to, because you've got this, right? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I'm not going to build any more houses because I'm just going to be building them to my spec if I am, which would take a couple million hours to complete and a lot of procrastinating later. So how about, because I was originally going to make this, so this is going to be the garden around here. I'm not too sure about this bit just yet, but this is going to be a garden. This marks out where there's going to be a path. However, this could all just be farming. I mean, think about it. I mean, especially if you're looking at real life and, you know, from an aerial view, how epic would it be if you look down here and you just, all this is just wheat, and then you've got a path leading up, going all ominously, a path leading up to the center, majestic statue, zombies coming in, villagers hurting everywhere. Nobody will ever know. I can hear them in the back of my mind saying to each other, what's this strange man looking thing with hands? His hands. Goodness me. And a square head coming here, flying around, doing weird stuff with grass. I mean, what would he be doing with grass? I don't know. Mass placing it everywhere. Yeah, very strange man flying around, placing grass everywhere. Oh, I'm going to have to label this stream as an 18 plus. I love myself. Right, anyway, stairs. Right, yes, stairs. Context, yes. It's a good job I don't have TTS enabled. It would be hilarious. I should enable TTS, actually, shouldn't I? Then I should ask Brownie Gaming Time if he'd mind sharing some music. I know we've talked about music before, but you know, actually, I forget. Is Minecraft's music? Aren't there people getting into trouble for playing having music enabled in Minecraft? I don't remember. I recall something like that. I'm almost inclined to look it up. You know, I've never noticed that before. I've never noticed that the hue's different inside to outside with torches. See, the thing is, if I place this down, oxy daisies actually come up to here. They're not one block, they're actually more 1.5 blocks. Like maybe 5 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot. They're really, yeah, they're why am I going on about oxy daisies? If only I had a webcam, you'd see the disappointment in my face. Well, how tall are you now? Because I'm not growing anymore. And every single person I know, do you know, I met a 14-year-old, I mean, German, so granted, who was about 5'9". I think 5'9". And he, do you know, we had a really awkward and actually really hilarious interaction because he asked me how. I thought he was about 18, 19, and he asked me, anyway, we were just talking, and he asked me how old I was, and I was like, how old would I have been then? I think I was 17 at the time, and he was genuinely surprised, and I said, how old are you? And it's like 14. It's like, you're 14? And you're that tall. And he said to me, I did think it was weird you were saving. I was trying not to laugh. It's sort where I come from. Well, it's not sort in my family, but it's sort. Okay, it's sort from where I came from in the family. Put it that way. Yeah, my older brother is. I don't understand what 1.4 sounds tall means. No, I'm afraid. It's a term. Shortness is a term I don't really speak of too often. Oh, it's nice to make somebody laugh. I thought it was weird you were saving. Gold. Absolute gold. Hello. Ooh, iron. Bye-bye, iron. I imagine a very, very Portal Turret voice, then I was a bit good night. All I need to do is have Ellen, what's her name? Ellen McLean's voice, and then I can love Ellen McLean. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill me twice, which I don't remember because I escaped. I also had memory issues, you know, I mean, waking up in a place, you know, failed life support, everything's just gone, everybody's dead. You're a lady. I mean, you know, all these kind of shocks all at the same time could make you mute and have memory loss. But, yeah, satire jokes aside, it really, there's an art, isn't there, to making music that's not repetitive, you know. I mean, you know, music you can just listen to forever and it never gets old. It's, I don't know what it would be about it. I mean, there's a particular, there's, I mean, Andy Cutting's music, quite a few folk musicians, English folk I'm talking about. The really good ones, the tracks, they're written. The thing, I mean, it's not fair to say folk, because the thing about folk is that, well, it's folk, and pretty much there are more people playing any one track than any. The thing is, like, I mean, you know, I have no idea what it's like anywhere else, but over over here at least, in the folk scene, yes, you do have the artists writing, well, okay, writing, that's more traditional folk, but writing tunes, but you have artists making compositions of these tunes, but people in the folk scene are extremely likely to be playing an instrument. So if you can play an instrument and you're in the folk scene anyway, you're just going to play the music. You're not going to listen to it. So you can't realistically, you can't get bored of any one tune. It's just impossible, because unless say, I don't know, like, you know, some people, which is a more of an old-fashioned way of teaching, teach to interesting music. Teach to say, you know, right, here's some music, you must always read from the music. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but here's some music, you must read from the music, you play from the music, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, it's like, you know, when you writing and reading uses a completely different part of your brain, you know. Okay, not literally, who knows whether it does literally, you know what I mean. It's like that, you know, reading music and learning by ear is very different. If you play by ear, and I'm sure Hunter, if you're still here, are probably getting very interested now. But like, if you learn to play by ear, you know, you learn at the same time, you learn how to improvise. You know, a lot of folk music is just improvisation, which is one of the reasons why copyright just can't really exist. It just can't really exist at all. Which is, and of course, you know, there are so many different variations because people improvise. There are so many different variations. Like, you could go to one session where they all play like Atholl Highlanders. It's like here, because Atholl Highlanders is, well, it's Scottish. I don't know if it's originated in Scotland, but it is a Scottish tune. It recognised as a Scottish tune. So like in England, when you hear them play like the C part, it goes da 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 da. It always goes da da da. But in Scotland, when you hear people play it on Scotland, this is for piano accordion, it's always da 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 da. So it's different. So you'll be in a session and you'll think, I know this. Then suddenly be like, whoa, where did that come from? That's different. And it's kind of a problem with copyright as well, with folk, because obviously, you know, folk groups, they make these arrangements. Obviously, you know, they apply for a record label, you know, they copyright, blah blah blah. And then if something decides, you know, say, upload it to YouTube, and they decide, right, okay, you know, I'll upload this tune. Then YouTube thinks, oh, right, okay, this is copyrighted. You can't have audio in this. And it's like, what? Okay, yes, it's the same tune, but it's completely different. It's under completely different circumstances, you know. But it's, you know, it's just copyright. And like, a story recently where somebody who, well, yeah, I think two professionals in the same room who didn't know each other. Somebody in this room just said, oh, does anybody know this tune? And this other person said, I'm saying professionals because they are actually professionals in real life. That, oh yeah, I know that. Then they played it together, and then once the person who piped up walked out of the room, once he had left, the other people said to the person, yeah, I know this, do you know I'll play with you, said, you do know he wrote it, right? That's basically just the folk scene in a nutshell. I mean, more trad folk, but yeah, that's basically just the folk scene in a nutshell. It is, yeah, it is very, very much like that. It's not like, you know, you get a music track, then you just listen to it. Maybe you make your own track of it, and then people just never play it, you know. I mean, you take I don't remember his name either. Take hang on, let me open Spotify. Let's make sure nothing plays good. Okay. Can you feel the love tonight? Can you ooh. Elton John. Take Elton John, for example. Elton John, he uses a lot of... Ooh. I forget what the term is called now, but his chords, not reverse chords, not... Something chords. What's the word? But he's unique. He uses chords very differently. I mean, yeah, okay, all of that does exist in folk. Fine. Yes, it does. And it always will do. But it's kind of those things, those professional, those just intricate things which make the difference between somebody who plays an instrument really, really well to a band, you know, a band, writers, a team of writers, songwriters, you know, but yeah, that's not to say there isn't some really amazing stuff out there. I mean, you know, like with an accordion, okay, I'll use a diatonic button accordion, and I say that specifically, you know, melodeon. Use a melodeon more for an example. It's like on a melodeon you only have, well, typically on an 8 bass, so you've got, oh, okay, so you've got, okay, no, see you in a bit, so you've got eight bass buttons, right? So you've got eight bass buttons. Each button, it's unlike a piano accordion or a button accordion, where, you know, it's one note, push and pull on the bellows. For a melodeon, / diatonic button accordion, whatever you want to call it, you know, they're the same thing, really. Well, yeah, they're the same thing. You know, it's a different note. There's a meat fly buzzing around me. That's a bit. It's a different note, push and pull. So for the bass, you know, typically it's some key D, G. So you've got D on the outer row, G on the inner row. Then for the bass, you've got, for the chords, you have G, G major, C major, B minor, E minor, D major, and A major. And you might think, wow, those aren't a lot. But if you mix them all together, if you combine them, you know, say you, I don't know, if you play, oh gosh, I've got to try and remember if it's, I don't really read music, so I don't really remember charts and things. So if you play, say, a G major with, G major and an E, you know, mix it up. You can do so many things. It's all about creativity, you know, which arcs back to what I was saying about, you know, learning, only being able to read music and not really learning how to improvise it's not even so much learning to improvise. It's just when you learn by ear, there's a lot more you learn than just the tune. It's kind of, so yeah, it's really, really interesting. But yeah, you kind of lose, you just don't grow that ability, really, to be able to do that. Which is, because if you know these things, like, know how to control the mood by changing the chords, different chord changes to matching the rhythm, matching the treble. Where are you on the treble? Should you push or should you be pulling for this chord or that chord? And if you can't, what are you going to do? Like if this chord works with this with notes on a pull, but you'll be pushing, but you need to push. How are you going to get around that? It's all about creativity. That's a great thing about the melodeon, is it's a really, really creative instrument, and it just forces you to be creative. Now, obviously, I could easily play something on stream, which I pretty much know for a fact that I wouldn't get DMCA'd for, because it's literally my own music. Okay, I didn't write it, but I'm the one playing it, it's my arrangement. Which, I don't know, soon I might have an album out, which I shouldn't really say that, considering I want my music and gaming stuff to be separate. But yeah, stuff. Stuff, very much stuff. But yeah, I've been rambling on for long enough, I think. It's just amazing. I don't know what I'd do without music, to be honest. Music hadn't ever entered my life, really, since it's I'll try that again, since it's such a creative tool for expression. It's like art, it's, quite a few things to do with art also cross over to music. Like, so many people believe that they're not good, they can't draw. But the thing is, it's all a perception, because look at it this way. So, yeah, just look at it like this. When you draw, if you're bad at drawing, okay, air quotes, if you're bad at drawing, you might see it might just be a scribble, a scribble. Especially if you're drawing people, everything's disproportionate, eyes are never level, things aren't centered, everything looks wrong, But the thing is, right, that's the same for everyone. What you have to do really is to get around that is it's just neat little tricks, like with the whole head thing. When people sketch out heads, they draw a circle, then they draw another circle for the chin, then they have a cross inside their head. The vertical is where the eyes are going to be horizontal, where the nose is going to be, when you've got the mouth, and for the limbs, and one of the nice things about sketching in particular is that it's not like you're drawing with a pen, it's like you can just kind of lightly sketch in, and you can be like, oh, that's a bit thin, I'll just sketch over it, which is exactly, what you see people doing with digital art. Digital artwork, when people do digital artwork, like if you take, okay, Unicomics, for example. Unicomics. When he, or even, you know, Unicomics, Chatty Chattot, Chatty Chattot, I think. She, like, they when they draw, you always, you know, they sketch first. They make the sketch, they sketch out, and you'll see it's just loads of different overlapping lines. Then you create a new layer. On top of that, then that's when you draw over what you want to use. But even then, you know, there are so many different forms, so many different ways, so many different genres, types of art. You know, if you say, like, you know, I can't, for the life of me, I can't draw I can't really draw. Okay, I can sketch on a good day. Fine. Not exactly the best thing in the world. I can't really do any more than that. But when it comes to digital art, which I can do, or sort of, I say can do, I'm not saying, you know, I'm any good at it. That's not for me to judge. But it's like, you know, that, what's his name? YouTuber. A bunch of them, actually. What they do is they have a canvas. It's speed painting, I don't know. They have a canvas, they have different blobs of different paint which they're going to use, all set up, and they get a paintbrush and they start doing strokes, you know. Then on top of that, they start, you know, moving the brush in whatever way. And it's that kind of thing which I can do in GIMP. You know, you choose your colours. Maybe you make a different image, so you can make a palette in a different image, and then so you don't accidentally lose any colours. I mean, I use GIMP, so that's not exactly what the program's meant for, but, you know, does its job perfectly fine. Then you just start mixing the colours, and then to create shadows, because shadows are what really, I'm not going to say they're what defines, but they're really important on making things look three-dimensional. I mean, obviously. So if you just use shadowing, say, I mean, I use the smudge tool in particular. If you use the smudge tool,